Streaming platforms are getting increasingly popular amongst people. Due to worldwide lockdown and COVID-19 precautions, people have become habitual of online streaming platforms. However, the constant exposure and rise in the usage of streaming platforms have raised many concerns for traditional film and cinema. Streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu have a dedicated algorithm to track users' interests and preferences. Due to this, the creativity and cinematic experience might get influenced negatively. Let's see if streaming platforms are destroying films or not. One of the biggest streaming platforms these days is none other than Netflix. Netflix previously revealed they even personalize thumbnail images for some shows, with the algorithm picking out the most appealing depending on the individual's viewing history. Streaming platforms require an individual account to track the individual history. Even if you purchase a multiple user account, there are separate and dedicated platforms for each user. These individual rooms help the algorithm in tracking the preferences of genres, music, actors, labels, playlists, and whatnot. This spans formats from films, TV, and music to different recommendation sources, labels, genres, playlists, and other users who may share your tastes. Oscar-winning filmmaker Martin Scorsese believes that these streaming platforms are discouraging users' creative input and limiting their artistic experience. He believes that these streaming platforms are using people as a customer in the name of content. He majorly critiqued an absence of curation on streaming platforms, saying algorithms which give recommendations dependent on individual or inclusive viewing habits are harming the fine art, and treat the viewer as a customer and that's it. He also added that in this umbrella of content, cinema is constantly being devalued, demeaned, and reduced, and yet the industry is depending upon this format. Algorithms work in a specific way. When a user creates an account, they have the option to choose their preferences, select their top favorites, enhance their search, and identify their priorities regarding film genres, display buttons. Algorithms then work out in an efficient way to find a similar list of options for the user, which they in return can see in the recommendations. This way, the user is exposed to only a limited type of content. It might seem that this can allow a better integrated and watching experience. In reality, it strips the user away from the countless other options and ideas they could have explored. They become dependent and consume only a specific viewing format, which hinders their creative growth and marks a stamp saying stop on their will to explore other cinematic forms of art as well. Netflix is one of the founding fathers of these personalized recommendation systems. The aim of Netflix's personalized recommendation system, just like those of its competitors, has been to get the right titles in front of each of our members at the right time. Netflix confesses using their personalized experience by a post in their blog saying, "We don't have one product, but over 100 million different products with one for each of our members, with personalized recommendations and personalized visuals." Here, Martin Scorsese points out the disadvantages of dependency on these algorithms. These algorithms are based upon machine learning systems. Scorsese believes that these machine learning algorithms are simplifying the experience of the user. He says in his essay is now a business term for all moving images, a David Lean movie, a cat video, a Super Bowl commercial, a superhero sequel, a series episode. Streaming services have evolved into a powerful tool that can influence the user's listening, watching, and viewing habits. The arrival of Netflix's top 10 list last year caused a stir by revealing some surprising inclusions that gave some indication of the platform's approach. This meant offering content to accommodate any person in any mood, and making sure they don't close the tab, so artistic integrity isn't always the priority, as shown by the rise of ambient TV. Netflix has revolutionized the way we watch TV. Last year, the streaming service has also earned its first Best Picture Oscar nomination for Roma. But what impact is streaming films at home having on the cinema? In addition to providing audiences with the means to watch movies so far outside their intended format, Netflix seems to be actively keeping films out of theaters as well. The streaming service has recently failed to come to an agreement with theater chains about the exhibition of Netflix's highly anticipated Martin Scorsese film, The Irishman. The film will not see a wide theatrical release before they add it to Netflix's catalog. The failure to make a deal is not solely the fault of Netflix. Scorsese himself directly benefited from this by relying on Netflix to fund his 2019 gangster film, The Irishman, after traditional studios balked at the cost. Even though Netflix and other streaming platforms are tracking users' watching patterns and their predictive algorithms are recommending similar content to a user, it doesn't mean that Netflix, or by that means any other streaming platforms, are producing below-average movies and TV shows on their labels. Algorithms alone can't be blamed for people consuming low-brow content over series and movies that are deemed worthy, because people have flocked to easy viewing over acclaimed dramas on television for years. Netflix and other web-based features are important. They give an approach to the crowd to see an immeasurably broader library of movies than they would have approached by something else. Be that as it may, these platforms additionally give watchers the capacity to distinguish films from their preferences of genres and stray from the imaginative expectation of filmmakers. In desperate times, these services are what helped people and fulfilled their thirst for artistic expressions. During the COVID-19 lockdown, these streaming platforms provided immense support and entertainment to people who were stuck inside their homes. And not only people, but the film industry has also gained huge profit via these streaming platforms. Had it not been for these virtual viewing platforms, many movies would have released due to lockdown. Artists, producers, and directors would have suffered a great loss, as the industry would have been at a total shutdown. Scorsese says streaming services have been more open in telling diverse stories that reject Hollywood's traditional male white gaze. Streaming has allowed shows like May I Destroy You and It's a Sin, which features marginalized characters, Black and LGBTQ, who wouldn't otherwise lead primetime shows to be shown to the masses. There is no doubt in the fact that Netflix and other streaming platforms are using viewers' personal preferences and watch data as a tool to commodify their market value, as it helps to keep the viewer attracted to their platforms. However, there is no denying the fact that there have been some positive aspects to these streaming platforms as well. Without it, web-based streaming platforms' marginalized and sidelined issues wouldn't have gotten due representation. It provides viewers an affordable and comfortable experience of exploring film media. Let us know what you think about these streaming platforms. Are they doing a good or a bad job? Tell us in the comment sections. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the blue icon to stay up to date with our latest videos.